I think I'm the last but one speaker. So I'm enjoying a privilege, also a minor disadvantage. Privilege in the sense that all the points that I had thought of covering have mostly been covered. So I have got very little to add. And disadvantage is that I may think that yes, I had prepared, but I didn't get a chance to share. So it's that kind of a situation. Anyway, I'm very happy that we met here for a couple of days, and especially I am thankful to Ansariji and his team for not allowing the feeling of having retired recently, because this is the place I was working till 31st of July. There was just 1 day break, 1st of August. The next 2 days, again, I have been walking into my office during the office time almost. So that way it has somehow rather kept the blues at a distance, you can say. I will just share certain points which have already been covered. As Mr. Prasar Pavrala said, community radios are being NGOized, and previously, because I have been with All India Radio for all these years, I know the experts had taken over almost All India Radio, most of the programs, that only the experts know and the experts can talk. Of course, we used to get some field interviews and all, but the major component was that. And we have been doing public service broadcasting, as you know, that way we are in the same field or we are in the same boat as you are. But we are supposed to, in the communication mode of community only. As again, Mr. Pavrala said, it should be 99% community and 1% radio. I think this is yet to happen in case of most of the community radio stations. We have to try for that, to involve the communities more and more, and that's possible. And that's the reason also, I may sound a bit biased or partial because I haven't studied all the community radio stations operating in my state, that is Odisha. But I'm sure about the content of Namaskar Konark, because they have been involving the communities very frequently. That's what I have seen. And this is the kind of broadcasting we should be into. And just to add one thing, we have been so far doing broadcasting. And as you know, in the late 80s, All India Radio started a thing called local radio stations. That was basically supposed to be community radio. And it was modeled after the community radio stations of Latin America, Africa, and elsewhere. But unfortunately, what happened there also, we followed the primary channel broadcast pattern. I have worked in local radio stations for about 10 years. So I carried my DNA with me. That is the public channel, PC, primary channel broadcasting pattern. So that was replicated there. So it did a bit of good service, I will say useful service, but it couldn't be what it was supposed to be. Then fortunately for us, these community stations came up. But as Sandeepji was rightly saying that we have got only 206 community radio stations so far. This is a dismal picture. We have only 10 in Odisha, and out of those 206, mostly owned by educational institutions, only 80 stations are owned by NGOs. So, this is an area where a lot of improvement is required. We must improve in this area, and as again Sandeepji correctly said, for this, the policy makers are primarily responsible. But as an association of community broadcasters, we should form a pressure group and try to pressurize the government to work as a facilitator, not as a traffic inspector. That is precisely what is happening right now. Licenses are not being cleared at the speed at which they are supposed to be. A lot of things are wrong there. So you have to correct those things. And revenue model, as sometime before, Professor Chatterjee said, yes, revenue, we know you have to sustain yourself. That's very difficult. But so far community radio is concerned, you have to go for the effect module, not revenue model. It may sound a bit idealistic, but that's the way it has been designed. If you can be effective in your broadcasting, a lot of people who are involved in social engineering will come forward to help you, as well as the government. First, you prove your worth. Yes, in the Konark area, if we have to do something, we have to take the help of Namaskar Konark. You make yourself indispensable. You make your presence stand out so that people will be drawn to you automatically. So we should focus, if you agree with me, more on effect than on revenue to begin with, for some time at least. Then streamlining licensing, that we have already discussed. Consortium also, it has been discussed. Content sharing also, it has been discussed. Website, Biswajit and others have already proposed. Let us start small. Small is beautiful, as Sumeka said. So let's start small. Well, let's not be very ambitious. Let's do it in a gradual way. And I'm sure things will start happening, albeit slowly. In India, nothing happens very fast, excepting the spread of cell phones, perhaps. So we have to be patient, and we have to stick to our track, and I'm sure we can move forward. So the only thing for community radio I would like to say at the end is fast forward. Thank you.